Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maria.
This is Tim.
Today is Tuesday, March the 20th, 2018. Welcome to our daily recap.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Before we get started, let's go over the how the market closed today, Maria.
Sure thing. So we have the Dow closed up 116 points, closing at 24,727. NASDAQ was up 20 points, closed at 7,364. And the S&P finished the day up 4 points, closing at 2,716.
We got a lot to go over today. There was a lot of good flow, a lot of good activity today, a lot of things we like. So bear with us. We're going to hit a couple of these low floaters real quick. The top gainer on Black Box today was PRPO. I believe they did have news as well. We alerted at 64 cents, skyrocketed to 175, closed at 90. PRPO did have some news there. You can hit that, Maria. I definitely want to keep this one on watch if it's a one-day wonder, if it gives us any continuation.
And here's the headline. Precipio integrates cost-reducing and fast turnaround high-resolution melt into liquid biopsy platform.
Interesting. CEI, another one we had done as well. Alerted number 2 on the scanner. Alerted at 88. Went to $1.30. Closed at $1.11. But see if they had any news. I don't think they did, if memory is correct.
I don't have any news on them, at least from the fly. That doesn't mean that there's not something out there floating around. Let me pull up a week on it and show you guys. To me, it looks more like a news move. It might not be, obviously. I will be checking that out. And so that's the day, 5 days. So nice pop. If you look down here, where my crosshairs are circling, you see that increase in volume. You usually see that with some kind of news, or there's a headline with it. So not sure what the pop was about. Nice breakout. Stayed in this channel here for most of the day. Pop. So it's one to keep an eye on.
Definitely. And going back to PRPO for a second, that one also, Maria, traded 60 times its average 10-day volume. 60 times its average 10-day volume. That's incredible. That's
That
a
is
lot
crazy.
of volume.
Yeah. There's PRPO. Wow. Yeah. 60.46, 26 million shares traded today. Do you know what the 10-day average is on that?
Um, let's see. So if it traded 26 million, so you're looking at a few hundred thousand.
Yeah.
400,000. Another one, MRNS. Now that one had got a price upgrade. We'd started seeing some activity on that one after hours yesterday. And MRNS as well, it traded 7.28, its average 10-day volume as well. It looks like it trades about 1.5 million, probably roughly. Nice pop on that one.
10 million shares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So its average is, at 7 times, about 1.6 or so million. So this one may have a bunch of new shareholders in it. We'll see. Nice upgrade on it today, though. And who
We
was it
saw
that
that
gave
come
that?
out, I believe, yesterday, right? That news came out
Yep.
yesterday after hours. That was the initiated at a buy at Mizuho with a $13 price target.
Another one we've been watching for a couple of days, ENRJ, and I believe it has a special shareholder meeting on Thursday. That one as well traded 7.9 times its average 10-day volume. So it traded almost 50 million shares today. That one trades around, I guess, usually probably around 7 million. So that one, super low stock. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. That one we have been talking about for a couple of days. It's got some good opportunities on it. It looks like it's moving after hours there a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and continue to
Yeah.
keep an eye on ENRJ. BPMX. And somebody had told us to take a look at this one last night, actually on StockTwits. And BPMX had an interesting day as well.
Mention while I'm expanding this chart on ENRJ, that special shareholders meeting is to vote on a merger. So that is scheduled to be held tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're
Sorry
welcome.
about that. I got a little bit ahead of myself.
No, you're good. I just figured while I was pulling this up, I could mention it. Here was the news. BioPharmX says they received their patent for a novel topical gel delivery system.
Okay, interesting. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. Nice day. I mean, quick pop. We'll see.
Yeah, really, really nice. Look at that. Just higher lows. I like that angle right there. As far as support is concerned, um, it closed nicely. Like it kind of it held that support level that I would have wanted it to hold to show continuation. It flashed down after hours, popped back up. I'm not sure how much volume's traded after hours. I need to double check and see. Let's go ahead and pull this a little bit closer up. So yeah, it really did hold that level well. I like where it's holding. If this were to continue, I would want to see more. Granted, it's had good volume today. I'd want to see that volume continue, and I would want to see this get over. I mean, at least what is this? 32 cents or so, 31 to 32 cents, 32 to 3178.3178 after hours. So a minimum of 32 is where I really want to see this get over and hold for more continuation. What do you think, Tim?
I would, I would agree with that 100%. So definitely keep an eye on that one. TRXC, Maria, back when we did a newsletter, the first low float we ever covered, because it had options and it was actually 100% winner. We actually, on that, and TRXC, that had a pretty day.
It had a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Couldn't find recent news on it, but man, what a nice day.
Yeah. So hopefully that one's back and running. And another one I know that I'd seen Tia mention today was NIHD. And that one I didn't see news on NIHD, and it kind of pops out of nowhere here and there. Good volume. Let's see if it. Yeah, I don't see anything on the volume ratio scanner, but interesting day on NIHD as well.
Yep. So we saw more volume come in, obviously associated with that pop. Um, yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. Okay, let's look at a week at it on it real quick. Oh, very interesting. Look at that. So yesterday afternoon, it
Yeah.
looks like it may have started to make its initial little, run or pop up off this support level here. Yeah, previous resistance, new support, and then a move up.
Maria, and ARNS, we talked about that one yesterday. Had news after hours. A lot of upgrades today. Bit of secondary tonight. Hasn't been priced out that I could find, but it's not taken after hours. So hopefully this will be accretive for shareholders. Had a lot of upgrades.
Yes, and
Um,
here's the headline. They filed to sell 7.5 million shares of common stock. That's ARNA.
and also Mule today was interesting. Pete's always good about telling us stuff that's uh, in merger talks or whatever. Mule came out. We did get an alert on that one on Black Box as well. Pretty sweet alert actually, and it looks like they did close with after hours that CRM did buy them.
Correct. They
See,
signed a definitive agreement that came out at 4:30. Here's the agreement. It's a $6.5 billion deal in cash and stock.
so I think Salesforce was down a little bit after hours, but obviously Mule. So wish we would have went ahead and nailed that. You know that rumor, and the options on that was just really, really the spreads on them were kind of insane. I guess we could have bought some stock. But what a nice day on mule. So congrats to those bulls. And this is one that Vishal had actually covered recently as well. So good job, good job, bulls, and those that got in on that rumor because you just got paid. Like I say, CRM was down a little bit on that news, but I've been trying to get a good entry on CRM anyway, so I'm actually happy about that part of it as well. A lot of good black box flow today. Maria, speaking of black box, pull up that flow. You caught it early. We bought it. So a few other people bought symbol BOX. Let me get our fill price while you're going through that.
Yeah, so I saw this sweep right here, this $20 call come in on the ask in yellow. Not a huge sweep, 217,000, decent sized. But box is one of those that doesn't really, at least it doesn't really catch a lot of flow. Like I don't really see too much flow coming in on box. So I saw the sweep come in. I believe I even posted it on StockTwits and Twitter. And I look over and I see, one, two, three sweeps come in after it. So I jumped in and we grabbed the April 21s. And Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe those filled at a buck 18. And we are green
Buck
on
18.
those. Yep, a buck 18. This is also for me, this was also a chart play, or potentially a chart play. They gapped down quite a bit after their last DR. Let's see if I can find that. So let's go over here. We have a big gap to fill over here. So we can definitely look, to play that. So I don't know if there's any other news that's expected or coming out on this particular one. However, I do know that there is a gap that can fill back up. We'll see how it goes. Right now, those are green, and that was actually that was a good play. I think it's a solid play.
Yeah, and that's the correct way of using the flow too. I mean, it's something that was unusual for us. Like you say, we don't see box a lot on black box. We don't see box a lot, and you followed that money perfectly. Go back to that flow real quick.
Here it is,
Yeah,
right
I
here.
mean, so that you bought right there when that first 21 came through. So
It
this
was
whole thing
right
happened
after.
in less
Yeah.
than 2 minutes, right? Within 2 minutes of that first sweep, you were in. And at one point, I know we're up at least 25% in those, and the flow kept coming after that. So definitely keep your eye on box. Maria, good play and way to follow the flow. First Solar, you know, First Solar had some sweeps in it yesterday as well, but had some more activities today. And Vishal had actually posted this chart on StockTwits and in the room as one to watch for today. It had a double bottom. His charting was perfect on this, but you see at 73 and a half right there at 45 cents. That closed over 90 cents today. So that first one really did well.
Yeah, I
Um,
bought it
so
and didn't hold it.
yeah, you bought
I
it and
bought
didn't
it and
hold. That's
punked
right.
out.
You bought and punked out of that
Oh
one.
God, I
That is
totally
a
punked out.
gorgeous chart. I mean, look at that. And you don't see flow in First Solar real often, but when you do, pay it attention because just historically it means something. So that was a pretty good play as well. Facebook monster flow, which shocks me. Uh, some of these that are coming through because Facebook, we actually sold our Facebook yesterday that we bought Friday. Talk about bad time and buying it Friday, but we actually got out of that yesterday without getting overly killed. I mean, it hurt, but we didn't get overly killed. We got out when the stock was around 77, so those would have absolutely been worthless. But the flow is still coming in here. I mean, you got some puts in there, but you've got some very aggressive call. I mean, they're buying 175s for this week above the ask. Um,
Which is crazy. And we ended up recovering our loss on Facebook yesterday. So we
yes,
sold
we
for a
did.
loss, but we did recover that loss.
It looks like on that chart there, hopefully that's a double bottom. Um, close enough. Fingers crossed. We did have some people that started fishing in around there. I did not jump in just because if I'm not sure, I'm just going to let it go. There's too many things out there that I can concentrate on. But we did have a few people go ahead and jump in that one.
I mean,
So
that's just like
fingers
a
crossed.
gorgeous W. Gorgeous W.
Yeah.
Look, Yeah.
So sold
The
off a little bit after hours. We'll see. Keep an eye on Facebook. Oh, excuse me. MGM. We had a little bit of flow in that the last couple of days as well. Um, yeah, that was above the ask right there on that 516.
and look at the move. Jeez. I should have paid
Yeah,
this
and
one
look
more
at
attention.
yeah, and look at what time that flow come out and what time that move is. I mean, look at that. I mean, literally the flow and the move came at the same time. Look at that, around 1:30,
So
and then look
2:30
at that flow.
Eastern. Yeah, right, simultaneously.
Yeah.
Actually, this above the
So
ask, that first above the ask came in right before the pop, right at the bottom of that pop. So the MGM is at the Telsey or the Tag Telsey Advisory Group's annual spring consumer conference thing. Um, I don't know if any news came out, and I could not for the life of me find a presentation schedule to find out what time the companies are presenting. I like to keep an eye on the companies that are at conferences that could potentially move. But this one did have some decent looking flow yesterday as well. Let's see if it'll let me do. It's probably not. Let's look at yesterday's individually. So yesterday, not a whole bunch of sweeps above the ask though. 36
that's the one
calls.
that caught your attention yesterday. That's the
Yep.
one that caught your attention yesterday. Um, so interesting. Um, AMRS, we said we was going to buy it today.
And we did. We bought Amy. Let's see. Tim, do you remember what we filled at on that?
No, let me go look though.
Might have been around 75, 78, somewhere around there. Those are a little bit red. We picked it up at a decent spot, but we're slightly down on those. Not anything huge. Those are September $7.50 calls. So we're going to hang on to those for a little while.
Oh, excuse me for my yawning today. Long day. Yep, we are Amy Longs, and so hey Bulls, we can come party with you guys now. So that was one we picked up. Yesterday we talked a little bit about panicking out of stuff, and yesterday selling Facebook was the right move, obviously. But what we didn't sell was Nvidia and Baba. We kept those, and the day Nvidia and Baba had today, incredible. Maria, I know you played Nvidia all day.
I
Vishal
did.
played Nvidia all day. He
Actually,
was in. He got,
finally.
actually got in yesterday. Do what?
So I got in yesterday for next week's calls. I'm still holding the 4.6 two. What are those? 255s or 250s? Let's see.
255.
Yeah, 255s. There they are. 255s. I'm holding those, and then I scalped today, all day. So I've been Nvidia. I'm a long time bull. So I love NVIDIA. I love that it got back over that 251. I was hoping, shouldn't say hope, but I was really wanting a close above 250. It closed right under 250. I mean, in the 249s. So I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that as long as it holds here. Investor Day next week and an upcoming conference. So I think that NVIDIA
I think
could,
we see all-time highs.
yeah, I
I think
agree.
we see all-time highs. As long as the market
Totally.
doesn't do anything crazy, I think Nvidia runs. We'll see.
Yeah.
Cat we bought yesterday as a swing. I did sell that today. Had plenty of time on it. I'm actually going to see if I can just get a better entry. So we did get it out of those calls today. I believe at 4:30 we were in them at 350. So decent overnight trade on Cat. I had plenty of time if the trade didn't cooperate um, right off the bat, but we did sell the Cat. Visa, we are still holding that. We had bought yesterday 125s for April. Still holding Visa. Love Visa. Love the chart on Visa. And it did very well today, actually, too. IBM, we did add IBM today, and we bought the 157.50s for April 20th, I believe. And we got those pretty close to the low of day. Let me pull up. Just want to make sure and confirm what we did buy. I don't want to
They
tell
were they
anybody
were
wrong.
157. 50s.
157.50s for April 20th. We filled at 385 on those.
Yeah, and
So
those are
we did
green.
add IBM. Those are a little bit green. Maria, Wawa. We did have some people
Yay.
that were screaming Wawa earlier in the week, um, and I didn't pay it enough attention. And look at that chart today.
So, and if you remember, I don't remember if it was last Thursday or Sunday. I believe both days. I said keep an eye on YY. It had pulled back. I want to say where was that? It was holding around that one. Actually, it dropped underneath that. It ended up dropping underneath that, but it held this 114, 115, moved up a little bit, made a higher low in the 115s, bounced up, and yesterday it ran up in the morning, really nice morning, 116 to 121, came back down and just based the rest of the day. Actually closed green on the day, and yesterday a lot of things, didn't really close green. So YY actually closed green. I had it on watch last night as well, and I did scalp this, I think, 3 times.
Very nice. Going back to Baba, I kind of had skipped Baba getting excited about Nvidia, but Vishal said it best when he goes, "Was there bad news on Baba?" No. He goes, "All right, hold Baba." you know? And because that 200 close we had Friday, and actually this is just going to consolidate us better for a better pop. So we are long term Baba, and we do still have the 200s for April 6th, and we are looking at something further out as well. We have not got that yet, and we should have got that yesterday on yesterday's pullback. But on any next pullback, we will be going out closer to ER on Baba. So yeah, Baba, incredible day. Just beautiful chart. Um, Shop, Maria, you were screaming about Shop the other day as well, and I believe it had
Yep.
news with Instagram. Is that
It
right?
did. I'll pull that news up in a second. Here's the day, and I definitely scalped it. I caught it probably right around here. I scalped it, sold it, and then scalped it again. I got out right after that high a day. It sold off a little bit, but it looks like it's found some support. That headline was really nice. Let's go to shop. It was a good, oops, it was a good headline. So Shop announced an expanded integration with Instagram, and this is for the shopping on Instagram feature. So that actually is awesome. There's a lot of small businesses that use Shop a lot. So it really expands the customer reach, especially for smaller businesses and self-employed people, or well, smaller businesses. So definitely good news. I like Shop a lot. Gorgeous move, 154.82 was the high today. We had some really nice trades here.
And another one we picked up today, Adobe, and I would have got Adobe yesterday and completely, and actually that was heavy on our buy list anyway. And I wish we'd have just got it. This is Wednesday. I wish we'd have picked it up
Yeah.
Monday because we would have held Adobe through that dip. But it wasn't on our minds first thing this morning because there's a couple of things we were in. But we did pick up Adobe today. We've got 240s for April. That's we don't usually go that far out of the money, and definitely don't always share it. I don't think Adobe's done. We'll see. I hope Adobe's not done. That ER, I think Adobe's going to run. We just need a couple of good days in the market, but we are a little bit outside of the money on Adobe. But we are now call holders in Adobe. And you got another price target today, Maria. I mean, uh,
Yay! And I'm still holding calls.
the
So I phone
price
call.
targets don't really stop on that.
They don't. I'll pull the price target up here in a second just to look at the week. Oops, that's not a week. I need where's my
Today's
chart?
Tuesday. I said Wednesday, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
uh,
close enough.
long day of trading. Close enough. Huh?
It's been a long day.
I wish we'd have
There
bought
was,
Adobe on Friday. Sorry. Now I've
oh,
got it straight
sorry.
in my head.
No worries. So MU, I picked up calls. I almost caught this low a day. I didn't. I bought it right before the low a day. I hung on to it, And those calls are up nicely right now. I'm happy with them. I love. Let me look at this on a 5 minute. Look at all this consolidation. And I'm actually going to even include some of this here as consolidation. Just that heavy consolidation, slight pop. I mean, closed on a good note. I am swinging those. Those are weekly calls, so I will get out of them probably in the morning. I may pick up some for the following week, but I will be looking to sell my weeklies tomorrow morning.
Another one, I know
Oh,
you
sorry, real
scalped
quick.
it, Zekiah scalped it.
One
Oh,
second, MU. I forgot to pull up the price target. So MU price target raised from 70, or I'm sorry, 270 from 60 at Credit Suisse, and ER on Thursday. Reiterated at an outperform. New PT of $70.
very nice. So yeah, Amazon, and we did see a little flow in Amazon that's kind of aggressive today too. I know Wyatt played it too. Wyatt was he didn't I don't believe was he playing stock or did he play calls?
I believe
I
he
know
was playing
Wyatt's
calls.
played it. Yeah, he played it the last 2 days, and I think he's like 4 or 5 and 0 with Amazon the last couple of days. I know you had played it a couple times as well, but I've seen a little flow in that today. I don't think it was anything
I'm
big.
actually I'm swinging a couple of Amazon calls, just some weeklies. They're out of the money, but I'm up on them as of the
Look
close.
at
And
pull up the flow
oh,
on that. I just want to
yeah.
go ahead and see it.
So what's funny is there was only one sweep that I saw. I may have missed one. Yeah, just this one. And this is actually what made me swing the Amazon I was holding.
Yeah.
We've got a 1630 on the ask, spot of 1581 expiring this week.
Now, only 36 grand, and we don't follow every 36 grand thing, but you just don't see much on Amazon. I mean, it wasn't a tank, but I mean, it was just interesting. It was just interesting, and I like the way that Amazon was looking too. So, Maria, yeah, good luck with that one. I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's not this one that I purchased. I mean I went a little bit closer to the money, but I am swinging just a couple. They're out of the money, but definitely not that far out of the money.
Um, BZUN. Look at the day on BZUN today. Also,
It had a really nice day. Let me pull up the week on it so you can look at that.
when that broke 49 today, it was done. It was gone.
I totally missed it. Like I didn't it wasn't I wasn't even I didn't even have a chart pulled up on it. I don't think I've looked at it the entire day until like later in the day. And at that point it had just hit high a day.
I had got asked about it a couple times this morning. And all I would say is I like the 49 break. I like the 49 break because I had that little peak this morning, then came down a little bit, and then as soon as it crossed that high, that was just it. I didn't play it, but once it crossed that break, that was a pretty good one. This one was a recent ER, and actually China stocks did well in general today. I think Momo did well as well. Actually, pull up Momo while we're talking about BZUN. Let's have a look at that one too.
Absolutely. I think
Um,
Momo had a good day. Look at that. Nice move.
geez,
The only
that's
one, interestingly enough, the only one that really didn't move with the rest of the Chinese stocks, JD. What's going on here?
a good question.
I'm not sure. I was, when I saw Bizon, I saw Momo. The next one I looked at was JD, and I was like, that is actually interesting that JD did not follow the pack.
Huh. We actually had calls on that one a couple of weeks ago that we did take a small loss on JD. But that BZUN, these that's had the ERs recently that did well are holding up very well in general. So those, when we get dips, those are definitely ones to watch. BA, 6 days in a row. No, no, hold on.
Woohoo!
5 days in a row. 5 days in a row. Tech money. He didn't buy it today, but he was the cheerleader. He was like, the stock was at 333, and I shit you not, he said it's going to fill the gap to 39. I jumped in. I jumped in late. I was in some Q trades early, so I was late getting into the Boeing party. But I ended up scalping some 337.50s that I just crushed. And he was right. It filled the gap to 339 and then some. Now it sold off a little bit, but talk about an incredible call. Tech money day 5 on Boeing. Like he called it. I mean, he said it. 339 today.
Yeah. Yeah.
339.
I
And
actually was able to catch a little bit on that play too. We're still holding the longer term BAs that we have.
yeah, it was still
And
got the
I like,
350s for April.
yeah, and I like where this closed in
I
relation
did
to
too.
where we opened. Granted, high days 339.70, closing in the 337, high 337s or so. I'm totally fine with that. I like it. I just want to see this level of support here hold. Maybe down here would be okay, but preferably above 337. That would be my preference.
Another one we haven't talked about, Twitter, and a couple people ask us when we're going to go ahead and pull up the chart on that one, Maria. Give me like a
Yeah,
longer term chart on Twitter.
sure.
I am going to go into Twitter, um,
So
and
here's
I
a
wish
year.
I would. Yeah, give me a month.
Yikes. Hold on. Let me see if I can make that an hour.
And I wish I would have bought it today. Um, I think it was. Yeah, look at here. Uh, this is close enough for me to say, you know what? What do you think?
I agree. Especially, I think that some of this, like some of Twitter's drop has to do with Facebook, right? So it's dropped with Facebook. Same W, double bottom through here on the intraday. I like it. Looking back at that monthly that we were just looking on, um, I think we could take a shot at it.
So that's one. I'm still. So I'll probably add that one tomorrow. Let me see. Was there? Let me pull up this one while we're looking at some flow. I want to pull up. No, that was a block. I don't really have a whole lot more. We still do own Merck. Um, we do still own Microsoft as well. We bought that yesterday, and I think you may have already had some. Uh, Maybe I'm getting you confused with Pete, but we do still own the Microsoft, which to me hasn't been trading um, like I want it. I mean, it's good consolidation, but I would like to see a little bit. Uh, I would like to see it get going there. You
Absolutely.
know, and another one. Here's the thing, and this is my fault. Square. Yesterday, I seen the dip on Square, and I'm like, this was me being greedy, right? I'm like, man, what's the odds? Can I get this back down around the $50 mark? Can I please get this back down around the $50 mark? And because I really wanted to load up Square. I mean, like legit, I wanted to load up Square. And I wasn't, yesterday's dip didn't scare me because I mean, we bought several things on that dip yesterday. I just wanted a little bit more dip on Square. And look at what it did today. New
I'm
all time
holding
high.
Square. I have Square.
Okay.
I picked it up today.
We're not, we're not friends anymore.
I picked it up. I didn't pick up a whole bunch of contracts or anything like that. I think I picked up like 5 or 10. Um, just some weeklies that I plan on selling in the morning. But I just kind of sat on them. So I am
I don't
holding
blame
some
you.
Square.
Gorgeous chart. I mean, we talked about it the other day, and I believe it was Friday. It was way, the RSI was way overbought, this that, and the other. And somebody was like, "But that doesn't mean anything. They could go on forever that way." I really wanted Square back down to. I really wanted it down to 50. So me being greedy, which listen, and that's the thing. I would rather a trade come to me where I want it than to be uncomfortable getting in it. But uh, geez, congrats, Square guys. I mean, this one doesn't seem to want to stop. Um, that's incredible.
Tesla. Let's look at Tesla real quick. Tesla, I caught a nice scalp right through here. I could have held longer. I sold right here around resistance where I thought resistance would hit. I sold over here, but I caught a nice scalp here on Tesla. I was actually kind of surprised to see it break that 310. I was thinking initially, at least on Sunday, I was thinking that we could see it pull back to like 315, 314. We actually got 308. So at 308 in that turn, it was probably like 309 and change when I picked it up. I picked it up and I sold it up here around 311. I wish I had held on to it, but I did not. Still a nice trade. Closed, around 310, I believe, right? 310.50 or so. So yeah, 310.55 was the close on this one. I want to see what this is going to do. I
You
think it
know,
will.
that's another one that 310 was a number I had in my head to watch to possibly start looking at Tesla again. You know, sort of like my square 50s that I just didn't get, which I feel like just a real dumbass right now for not picking up square. But I mean, listen, we're not going to get them
You're
all.
good. Right.
Definitely not going to get them all. I mean, there's thousands of these things out there, but I mean, that one breaks my heart. Pull up PayPal. Actually, since we're talking about Square, I do want to look at PayPal again.
Here you go.
Is this one? Yeah.
It's okay. Let me pull up a 5 day. PayPal, like I can play PayPal. I am not the most patient person all the time. And I feel like PayPal tries my patience a lot. At least the last couple times I've played it, it's really tried my patience. So I'm not in this currently. I do keep an eye on it. I like PayPal long term. We definitely have some room to the 52 if we can, get above
Hey,
here.
pull your cursor down there to the bottom of yesterday, and yeah,
Right here.
I can't. Yeah. So that's we had talked about it last week at some point wanting a chance back at this thing under 80, and that was yesterday. And again, this is one of those things where yesterday, we kind of had a down day. Some people were tripping out a little bit. I was actually doing some buying, and this one was on the buy list. And uh, this one in Square, so this is going to plague me. Just remind me if we ever get back under 80 before
Pick it
ER
up.
that I'm supposed to pick up PayPal, and
Sure.
apparently I need to quit waiting on $50 Square as well. So anyway, I didn't have anything else really to go over myself. There's probably some stuff on
Let's
the
look at
after hours scanner.
Yeah. Well, let's look at that after hours scanner and let me get that pulled up. FedEx. So nice. Okay, number one, there was a little bit of bad news, right? So we had not little bit. There was not so great news out or circulating about FedEx. I don't know what happened after hours. Let me get that pulled up. We have yeah, we hit a high of 262, flashed down like from or went down, not flash. We went down to 247.53, hit a low of 247, currently at 248.30. Not sure what happened there. From what I could see, the numbers were good. The numbers were really good. They killed the top and the bottom line
I,
estimates.
I was feeling bad after hours. I had said in the room, I'm like Drew, because Drew, I told he was holding, and a few people were holding. We're like, guys, go ahead and sell FedEx. You just never know what's going to happen to DR. This thing pops. I feel like shit, right? I feel like total shit. I'm like, man, he should have held. I shouldn't have told him. Right now, I feel a lot better. So I'm
I
not
bet.
happy that FedEx fell. I'm just happier with myself that I don't feel as suicidal because I felt really bad for him about that. After our
So
scanner, though, there's some interesting stuff in there. Yeah.
let's look. PRTA had some news with CellG, I believe. Let me pull that one up. Uh, this one had, yeah, here's the news. Prothena, in collaboration deal with CellG, will get 100 million upfront payment. So that's why they are up after hours.
Interesting. Keep an eye on that. I mean, 22%, that's a pretty big move. The volume's light. So if we get enough dip on that tomorrow, it might be something worth looking into. I mean, it may be a dip and rip, but definitely want to watch this one tomorrow. There's ENRJ on the after hour scanner at 14.3% on 391,475 shares. We talked
Mhm.
about that one in the special shareholder meeting, I guess, tomorrow. Mara, this one pops up from time to time as well. So Mara, the volume's not crazy, 77,000, almost 78, but up 13.3%. Do you see any news with that one after hours?
Crypto's probably up. I'll look for news, but I can almost guarantee that that's probably moving on some crypto
Well,
on
now it
Bit
looks like
on
it just kind of
price.
went back to, it kind of looks like it just went to where it opened today as well. Now that I'm looking at
Yep,
that.
I agree. I agree. It flashed up above that opening price briefly, but came back down under it.
Mule, we know why that's up. PRPO, which was our, top gainer earlier. There's PTI on the scanner, and PTI kind of really broke my heart because this one I actually like this company, and there was a short report on PTI today that came out this morning, and right after they did an offering last night. So I don't know. This is one I want to keep my eye on just for because well just want to see. A lot of those short reports can be just bogus. I have not read this one. I haven't had time to. I just found it funny that it was coming out right after they did that offering last night.
Yeah,
Um,
and I have not seen it yet, so I will be reading it as well.
so there's CZR up a little bit, little volume, 150,000. TCWO up a couple percent on TTWO might be interesting. Okay, good. Twitter after hours, which is on my buy list.
On some decent volume.
Um, yeah, decent volume on Twitter. Actually, did we have anything come out on that?
Let's look and see. Well, I don't think so. We were just looking at it. It's 1620. Let's see what this says. Let's see, where's Twitter? So during the day, now I remember. So during the day, Twitter actually fell after Bloomberg had reported that Israel is weighing legal action against the company for online incitement. That was released, I think that was earlier today. So I saw a couple of headlines on that, and I don't know why. I don't see anything for after hours specifically.
Maybe it's just simply it got oversold.
Yeah,
Um,
more than possibly. Yeah, more than likely.
so you know what? Real quick, and I know that we probably took up a lot of time, but I still do want to pull up ECYT, and I want to look at a weekly on that if you don't care. I mean, look here. I still say, and I'm still going to say it, keep your eyes on this one. Just don't think it's done. I just don't think it's done. And speaking of that, one that we've been
Yep.
saying, keep your eyes on again. Also, ZSAN, that one perked up again today for a few minutes as well. Keep your eyes on ZSAN and ECYT for trades. ECYT, I kind of like longer term. ZSAN's more of a trading stock for me, but ECYT I actually really do like for the longer term.
So there was a little bit of a pop on ZSAN today.
Yeah.
What happened with them?
So
Why do I remember? Hold on, I remember something about it. Let me check. How did Acre end up doing, Tim? Do you know?
actually, Acre, I believe, held from
Here.
yesterday.
So there was a headline that came out this afternoon. I believe it was around 3 or 2:20 or 3:20 our time, somewhere there. United States Patent and Trademark Office, let's see, sorry. Strength attributed to patent for rapid treatment of migraines. So, uh, Let's see.
Oh,
So they
well, yeah, that
posted.
came out later in the day. That's that spike.
Yeah. I believe this might have actually halted. Was this a halt? I think so. Let's see.
I don't remember. I don't remember it halting. It's possible that it did. We had so many halts today that I can't keep
Either
up
that or
with
it
them.
was an alert. One of the two.
It did
Anyhow,
alert. We did
there was a
alert.
headline that came out, and it was
But
alerted.
yeah, I still want to say keep an eye on Z Sand. I don't think that that's the last time we'll talk about that name. Acre Maria, good consolidation day. I mean, just really good consolidation day. About 1.5 times average trading volume. Um,
Not
no
bad.
position in Acre.
Right.
Um, yeah, but I mean, overall, yeah, kind of like that. Actually, pull your cursor down to the bottom of that. This open this morning. I just want to look across there. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's exactly where you would think around that 75 month. So yeah,
Yeah.
it held well. So keep an eye on AKER. That's all I really had, Maria, unless you got something else.
Well, that's everything that I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe. Like the video and please share it. Other than that, that's all I have. Tim, anything else
That's
that you
it.
can think of?
Looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. All right, guys, have an awesome, awesome night. We will see you again tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.